Der Schotte John Burnside ist einer der profiliertesten Autoren der britischen Gegenwartsliteratur. Im März war er zu Gast im Literaturhaus Salzburg. Große Beachtung fand sein autobiografischer Roman A Lie About My Father. Dafür erhielt er 2011 den Internationalen Literaturpreis Corinne. Jetzt kam er erstmals nach Salzburg, um seinen jüngsten Roman In hellen Sommernächten, 2012 im Knaus Verlag erschienen, auf Englisch A Summer of Drowning, vorzustellen. Begleitet wurde er von seinem Übersetzer Bernhard Robben. John Burnside entführt die Leser und Hörer in eine betörende und zugleich verstörende Welt zwischen Fantasie und Wirklichkeit, voll unheimlicher Begegnungen in einer poetischen Landschaft. Hoch oben im Norden, wo im Sommer das weiße Licht alle Konturen verwischt, ertrinken auf rätselhafte Weise junge Männer.
Spiele, die sie, auch wenn sie nicht sonderlich viel für sie übrig haben, dennoch mitspielen müssen. Ich war mir sicher, dass Maya mich nicht gesehen hatte, da ich sie, auch als ich ihr in halb gebückter Haltung auswich, im Blick behielt. Zumindest hatte ich das angenommen. 30 Sekunden lang, vielleicht auch länger, sah ich ihr zu, wie sie schwungvoll vom Strand den Hang hinauflief, das Gesicht leicht zur Seite gewandt, die Arme etwas angehoben, als ertastete sie sich einen Weg durch ein Kraftfeld. Und dann, wenige Millisekunden später, war sie nicht mehr da.
Late in May 2001, about 10 days after I saw him for the last time, März Siegfriedsson was hauled out of Molangen Sound, a few miles down the road, the coast from here. They say he must have gone into the water at Skrgnäs, then drifted back down to the pier near Strandsbukta, not far from where he lived. And I like to think that the sea took pity on the puny child it had killed, and was in the process of carrying him home when a fisherman caught sight of a distinctive, almost white shock of hair through the summer gloaming, and with due care and sadness and habitual skill fetched him to shore. Later they found a boat drifting in the Sound, halfway between Faroe and the shipping channel, where the great cruise and cargo vessels from Tromsø glide out into the open sea. The boat, it turned out, had been securely moored half a mile from Matz's house, which seemed to confirm that he must have stolen it. That really was beyond explanation, for there was no less likely thief than März Siegfriedsson, and nobody could think of a reason why this quiet, well-behaved boy would even be out on the water in the middle of the night. The whole thing was a mystery, and everyone had his own theory about why März was in that boat, or what his intentions might have been. There were those who spoke of suicide. It was the end of the school year, and like me, März had just completed the exams that would decide his future, a stressful time for any 18-year-old. But he hadn't left a note, and there was nothing to indicate that he'd been depressed in the week leading up to the incident. If anything, he had seemed happier than usual. Some of the adults said it was just a prank that had gone wrong, one of those acts of adolescent folly that boys get up to from time to time for reasons of their own. But nobody who knew März put any credence in that theory. Some of the kids in town hinted at foul play, but none of them had ever even the ghost of a reason why anyone would want to hurt a boy like März Siegfriedsson. As for me, I didn't have any theories, not at the time. März was a classmate of mine, and I had always liked him, if only from a distance. Mostly I liked his blanched, shriveled Peter hair, and the odd half smile he would put on when one of the teachers asked him a question he couldn't answer. He and his brother Harold went around together all the time like twins. People would say they were inseparable, almost indistinguishable in fact, though Harold was a year younger, and it wasn't that hard to tell them apart. It was an illusion, that twinness, an illusion that they had created by force of will because they wanted to be the same. For reasons only they understood, they needed to be identical. Naturally, they were together that last time I saw them. It was Grunlovsdag, and they were watching the parade on Sjøgata. Two white boys in a river of Norwegian flags on the other side of the street from me, their eyes following the parade in exactly the same way, their heads turning and craning in unison, so it made them look mechanical almost, like automata in an old-fashioned fairground. They always stood out, and it always seemed, even in the crowd, that they were alone in their own world, a world that nobody else could enter. Only they weren't alone that day, and they weren't really together anymore. For where there had once been two and only two, there were now three: März, Harold, and that other one, Maya. I knew who she was, of course. She had been in Harold's class for a while, coming to school pretty much when she felt like it, before she dropped out altogether. And I could see right away that, as unlikely as it seemed, she was actually with them. That came as a surprise. Evidently, it was no accident that they happened to be standing there, three where there should have been two, vanishing and reappearing, all that red and blue and white. And I remember wondering about it at the time.